Well, look who decided to show up for another Comedy Spot Live. That's right, it's you. You're here, and we are doing the Who Did It show. Thank you for being here. I want to remind everybody that you can go up to this link right up here, satcomedyspot.com, and check out our full streaming schedule. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. We have Comedy Spot Squares, which is trivia and tic-tac-toe, followed by Anti-Cooperation League doing a town hall meeting. So it's going to be a good time tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm going to take off just one day. So thanks for being here tonight. I have three great guests. Let me remind you how the show works. All of them submitted to me separately things that they've done in the past, but then all three of them are going to claim to have done all the things, and you have to figure out who actually did the thing we're talking about. It might sound confusing. It's not straight in my head either, but it'll be a lot of fun. Then you're going to judge. You're going to pick the person who you think actually did the thing. We'll see if you're right. It'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you comment during the show. Make sure you go to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and like, follow, subscribe, all the things so you get notifications when we go live. I can take your comments. I can put them up here. So Jess says, yay, we're here. It's nice to see you again. Dana says, wait, where am I? How did I get here? I don't know. Mysteriously. Donna says, hello. So thank you for being here. Let me introduce each of our guests one at a time and have them say hello to you. Our first guest tonight on Who Did It? It's Hayden, everybody. Look, it's Hayden. How are you?
I'm doing well. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. I like your shirt. It just says Eat Club.
Thank you. It's a job I used to have about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So this is like around doing nothing shirt.
Okay, that's okay. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Up next, we have Becky, everybody. Becky.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yeah,
I'm glad we get to see each other like this.
I think we see each other more on Skype than we ever did when we could actually see each other.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whenever we'd see each other, I feel like I would just pester you to take a vacation. And you would get as far away from me as you could.
Vacations. What are they? They're never going to happen.
Taking tomorrow off. That'll do for now. I mean Sunday.
I take half a Saturday off, and then I take all of Sunday off now. So that's pretty cool.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's really weird. Our last guest tonight, you know her, you love her. It's Justine, everybody.
Oh, me? Hello, everyone. Hi, Brian.
I'm glad you guys are all here. Hi there. How are you, Justine? It's good to see you.
I'm doing great. It's a lovely day. Went outside.
Yeah.
It was nice. Good times.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. People are already saying hello to everybody, saying hi to Becky. We have, Becky says Team Becky right off the bat. So there you go.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Laura says chug the truly. They're all chug, 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 chug. Let's see. Somebody said that Hayden had, they said Hayden, that's a nice name. I can't find it. It's there. It's somewhere.
Is that your mom, Hayden?
You said that. It might be my mom, to be honest. It's probably most likely my mom.
Is it most likely? Okay, let's see if I can find it now. I'm up against it. Patrick says, hi, Becky Lynn. Let's see. Yeah, I can't find it. It was there. I swear it was there.
I believe you.
Okay. I feel like as the night goes on, the comments on the side get smaller and smaller and smaller. I can't find anything. I'm also old. All right, let's move on. You guys know what's going on. You all submitted to me separately, so nobody knows of anybody else's thing. But you all submitted a couple of things that you've done in your past. I'm going to share them one at a time. But then all of you are going to claim to have done that thing, so you're going to give us a little minute story about that thing, and then the audience is going to choose which of you actually did that thing. thus the title of the show, Who Did It? So I got all of you here. Let me get to where I have my little fancy overlays. Oh, this isn't the one. Oh, okay, it's this one. Guests. Oh, fancy. Okay. All right, so here we go. First thing, number one. I got kicked out of a concert, but I snuck back in. I got kicked out of a concert, but I snuck back in. Hayden, we're going to go with you first this round. Tell us about how you got kicked out of a concert, but you snuck back in.
Okay. Well, I'm not proud of this, but I was like a big raver kid back in college. Like really big, like wearing like a big hat with lights on it and like the gloves and stuff like that. And so I was at a concert. It was like one of those big festival things. And the festivals are very expensive, and they also have very expensive vendors for alcohol and stuff. But this venue was Snow Globe, which is in Tahoe.
Right.
Cool, like New Year's Eve thing. It snows, like the ball drops, very cool. But my friend lives near there. So our plan was to plant bottles of alcohol where the festival would be, and then go and retrieve them once the actual show started.
Like a buried treasure.
Like buried treasure, except there's something very conspicuous about a dude in a big light up hat digging in the ground during a concert. So I got caught and I got thrown out. So.
And how did you get back in?
Well, the back entrance. There's a lot of sort of back, like where they bring in like the lights and stuff. So they sent me out the front, and then I just sort of walked around, and there's no security back there. So I just kind of.
All right. Good job,
Yeah.
Becky. One time you got kicked out of a concert, but then you snuck back in.
Yeah. When I was in college, I went to a country concert, actually. It's not the I went with a really good friend of mine, and we drank too much tequila in the truck on the way there. And so we got in, but barely. And then I threw up like 5 minutes later, and I was promptly removed by security. This was a wristband concert, though.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut off my wristband when they kicked me out. And then I just begged somebody in the parking lot that I saw leaving for whatever reason to give me their wristband, and they did. And so I put their wristband on, and I just came in a different entrance.
All right, perfect. All right. So one of the three of you actually did this thing, Justine. One time you got thrown out of a concert, but then you snuck back in.
Yeah, I did. This was a rock concert, and I was with friends who smoked weed, and we were in the middle of the crowd, and the security came and pulled on us, and they escorted us out. And then as they weren't looking, I kind of just drifted off back into the crowdedness, and then they never caught me, and I snuck back in.
All right, perfect. All right, so one of the three of you actually did this thing. So audience, if you could do us a favor, guess who it is. It's going to be one of these three actually did this. So was it Hayden? Was it Becky, or was it Justine? So go ahead and lock in your answer, and we'll see what's going on. I always like the comments that are going on before I ask for the vote, because Hallie, right off the bat, even before you said anything, said, I say Becky did it. And then and Laura Carruthers said, sorry, but Hayden is lying. So,
Ooh.
And that was before anybody else had spoke. So there you go. And then Casey says, it's always Becky. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always Becky. So
Dang.
all right. So here are your votes. Okay. So we had Becky did it. Becky. Nope. Not Justine either. So they're saying Justine. Becky has my guess. Becky, Justine, And then let's see, Becky, always. Becky did it. Becky did it. So,
You want to do a good or just tally them up really quick?
what I'm gonna say, Becky did it. Okay, so who actually did it?
It was me.
It's Justine.
It was me.
Nicely done, Becky.
Thank you.
You are one of the best liars I know. Nicely done.
I believed Becky for a second too. I was like, wait, did I actually do this? This might just be Becky.
That was fantastic. Oh, Laurie doesn't vote, but she does say, "Hi, Hunka Hunka Brian," which is usually my way of feeling better about myself every day. So welcome back. Hallie says, I still don't believe you, Becky did it.
It's true. I did it.
Jess says, damn it, I hate this show. Oh yeah, this is what? Damn, Becky? Like they're blaming you for something Justine did.
Thanks, Becky.
Yeah, thanks, Becky.
My bad.
For the top 10 list show, we have a shirt that we want to get that says, I'm a switcheroony. For this show, it's just going to say, thanks, Becky.
I'd buy it.
I would for sure. All right, so let's go back to the guest cam here, and let's pop up another thing that one of you did. Let's see. Where's my little thingy, my overlay thingy? I'm having a hard time tonight, guys. Okay, there it is. All right, here we go. Number 2. I saved a toddler's life in Italy. I saved a toddler's life in Italy. Becky, you're going to go first this round. I saved a toddler's life in Italy.
Okay. Well, when I graduated high school, I went and traveled abroad. My parents were like really big on like, seeing the world or whatever. And I was in Italy. I was sitting outside of a restaurant and I saw a little boy. He was like eating something. I can't remember what it was. It was probably like, I don't know, something Italian, something small that he should have chewed first. And he was choking. And it was at the table next to me, and like his mom was freaking out. The server didn't know what to do, and so I just ran over there and like slapped the shit out of his back. You know, like when you're choking on something and your mom would come behind you and just like slap the shit out of you, and it just came out. It was like a doughy piece of food.
Of Italian food.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Becky. Justine, you're going to go next. One time in the past, you saved a toddler in Italy.
I did. I was with family on vacation a couple years ago, and we were at the hotel pool, and there was this kid on the like steps, and he kind of jumped in without his parents looking, but I was right there, and I picked him up, and his mom was like just super grateful because I had saved the little kid's life.
Okay, very good. And Hayden, you saved a kid once in Italy, a little toddler.
Yeah, I was with my family in Italy. We were doing like a big tour with like another family that was like I had a friend of mine, so 2 families, and we were in Cinque Terre at one point, which is sort of like this coastal town with like this fronted by like this big beach. And for whatever reason, it was like very overcast. Like the beach was like closed down, like just insane waves. So me and my friend thought like, oh, this is the best time to go get in the water, which we did. And we were just being thrown around by the waves. And then I stop at a certain point and I hear like, Bambino, or something like that. Whatever, maybe it was Bambino or like whatever the toddler version is in Italy, but it's probably like a similar like Bambino. It's just a shorter version of the and I look and I see a lady like on the shore like yelling and pointing, and there was like farther out than me there was like a little toddler just being like pulled out into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, and I look at my friend and he's farther than I am, so I was like, I guess this is on me. I was like just sort of storming out there, my leg cramps up, I pull him back in, bring him to the lady, and she just sort of like grabs the kid and like runs off without saying anything.
All right, fair enough. So you saved a toddler. Right off the bat, doesn't matter what any of you said. They just said Justine. So,
yeah,
go ahead,
true.
everybody. Lock in your votes now. One of these 3 guests tonight actually saved a toddler in Italy. So you're going to vote. Was it Hayden? Was it Becky? Or was it Justine?
I like the little screen.
What's funny is if you go to the left or to the right, you just fall right out of that screen completely. So it's like, yeah, it's just, now it's creepy. It looks like Hayden was wearing Becky as a mask right now. That's what it looks like. All right. Stop messing around. Let's see. So everybody's voting. Right off the bat, Patrick said, Becky, you're a liar.
Damn.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go back up. Okay, so Donna says Justine did it. Hayden adds too much detail, Lara says, so it must be a sign of lying. But then Casey says that he sounds convincing. So then Laurie voted for Hayden. Matt voted for Justine. Nicole said Justine. Becky said Hayden did it. Patrick said Hayden did it. And Laura said, it's going to burn me. Becky's story was the most plausible. So it seems like, I don't know, I didn't count. But it seems like, Hayden, you got the most votes. So Hayden, did you do it?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
I have a lot of detail in all of my stories. I did it, yeah.
I see what you just did there. All right, so that was definitely Hayden that saved a kid. Hey, congratulations for saving a kid. That's really cool.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I turned out what they grew up to be. So may have been a serial killer or something. In which case, something, you know.
You saved a serial killer. Hallie said, "Damn it!" By the way. But then Hallie said, "Y'all are wrong. It's Becky." So there you go. Okay, number three. I got robbed at gunpoint. So let's see, Justine, you're going to go first this round. So Justine, you got robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah, so this was my birthday actually, and I was at a CVS parking lot, and 2 people rolled up on me, and they stuck their gun in my window, and they demanded for my things, and I gave them my things, and I screamed for help, and this was around 2 p.m. in the middle of the day. It was a beautiful day. And they took my keys to my car and my money because I wouldn't give them my wallet. And then they ran away because a citizen started walking towards us. That was it.
Wow, that's crazy. All right. Well, that is the way you think it went down. Hayden, you actually got robbed. You got robbed once. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh.
Yeah. I did on my 21st birthday, actually, like the night out celebrating. I had an apartment with a few friends, and it was cheap, but it was also like literally right next to train tracks, which is not super ideal. So after a night out celebrating and drinking, I came back, and like almost right before I got into my apartment, like a couple of guys came up and sort of pointed a gun at me and just took everything I had. Funny addition is a few months later, I was having a party and a friend went outside to smoke, and a few guys came up and tried to get his money, and he beat them up. So I should have done that, I guess. But
Next time.
It occurred to me.
Yeah.
That was an option. But yeah, so that's down.
All right, Becky, you actually got robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah, this was actually earlier this year. I was in San Francisco. I went to go do a show on a Friday night, and it was a late show. I got out of the venue probably like around midnight, and I was walking back to my car. And I had my phone in my hand and my keys in my hand, which is always how I walk to my car. And this guy came around the corner, and he pointed a gun at me, and he only asked for my phone. And he was just like, give me your phone. So I handed him my phone, and then he snatched my keys out of my hand. And then he took off. And I remember when that happened, like I distinctly remember, because I had pepper spray in my purse. And ever since then, like I've never walked to my car again without having pepper spray actually in my hand, because that probably would have helped a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
All right, this is really good. So everyone, you heard the 3 stories. One of them actually was robbed at gunpoint. You have to vote right now. Was it, just in case you forgot, was it Hayden? Was it Becky? Or was it Justine?
Justine.
I love this.
It's so funny.
Let's see. I want to read it. I almost got mugged once by 4 dudes in a car when I was walking home from the comedy spot one day. It was a long time ago. But I ended up outrunning them, which is like the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life, was outrun 4 muggers. So,
Did they chase after you in their car?
I was walking, and then they drove in front of me and stopped in front of me, which made my spidey sense go off. And I was like, I'm not going to walk by them. So I went the other direction walking. And as I changed directions, one of them got out and was like, hey, do you have $5? And I was like, no. And they're like, do you have $5? And I was like, no. And they're like, give us $5. I'm like, I don't have it. And I just kept walking, but I kept going like a little faster. And then I could hear somebody like scuff their shoe as they started running after me. So like the wind, I just took off and ran in.
Full sprint.
Yeah, just like this, with my hands like this. And then I like ran across the street, like right into the street across the street, so that I was like shaking them off. And I got to a part that had, it was at night, and I got to a part that had light, and they turned around and went the other direction.
Oh, damn.
But it was scary.
Easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
What time was that at?
It was, get this, it was like at 9 o'clock at night. It wasn't even like late. It was like 9 o'clock at night. It was crazy. All right, here are your votes. No, that's not it. Let's see. Justine did it. I have no idea. Becky, I believe you. Let's see. Becky. Lisa just said pass.
We're so good.
Justine was robbed. Let's see. I vote for Becky. Hallie, before I told that story, said Brian did it. Becky, though, for real. Nobody. And then Patrick said Becky. But nobody else really voted, because I don't think anybody really knows who did it, to be honest with you.
We're so good.
Nicole did just vote Justine. And then we had a Becky. Laurie made a comment about me in a Speedo. Okay, you stop it. All right. So someone got robbed at gunpoint. Who did it? Or
It was me.
yo!
It was me. I got robbed on my 20th birthday at 2 p.m. in my car in the CVS parking lot. It was crazy. Happy birthday to me.
That's terrible.
So shitty.
Yeah.
Terrible.
At one point I said, I was like, "Don't kill me. It's my birthday."
Oh.
And they were like, "Shut up." I was like, "Okay, I guess that doesn't work."
Like, also good on you for not giving them your wallet.
Yeah, because I was like, in my head, I was like, they can see where I live. I had my social security card on me too, and I was like, I'm not gonna give them that.
No.
So, yeah, had to negotiate.
I like the optimism. No, they were just gonna be like, "Oh, it's your birthday? I'm sorry."
Oh shit! Happy birthday!
Everybody in the parking lot.
No, it's her birthday.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh yeah, they shoot the gun at the air.
They're like, "How old are you?" 20 times.
That's so funny. Let's see. Jess said, "Oh my God, I'm the absolute worst at this." Hallie said, "Shit, I told you, everything happens at a CVS."
True.
Patrick says, "Oh my God." Heart for Justine. What's CVS? Like, Patrick wants to know so he can go get his birthday celebrated at the same CVS.
What does CVS even stand for? I don't even know.
Cops are vicious shit.
Yep. That's where I shop.
Convenient value shopping.
Oh,
I just get.
Wow, that's a good guess.
That is pretty good.
I have no idea.
I can't even top that.
Customer violated sideways.
Whoa. Sideways.
It could be either one of those. We'll never know.
All right, let's do our next thing. I got to get you in this mode. We're going to bring up number 4 here. Let's see. I drove 2 drunk friends home in the back of my truck. I drove 2 drunk friends home in the back of my truck. Hayden, I'm going to go to you first on this. You drove 2 drunk friends home in the back of your truck.
I did. Yeah, this was actually pretty recently. I was not drunk, to be clear. The 2 friends were.
Right.
Luckily, this was at a point after I stopped drinking. So it was a work trip to Reno. You know how fun being the DD is. You go, it's crazy fun, and it's just stoked to the max to go these drinking people. And so that's where I was at. I was at emotional high.
Right.
And they were at a drunken high. And at the end of the night, taking them home. There's one seat in the front part of my truck, and then that's it. So there was one person up there, and then one sort of like just sitting in like the flatbed.
Right.
And we got pulled over. I don't know. I don't think they saw the person in the back unless he was like doing something with his hand. But they got pulled over, and they were like making me do like the drunk walk, and decided I was sober, but still were not pleased about the dude in the back of the truck. So I got ticketed for that.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good or bad, but you got him
Bad.
home. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I got him back safe. So.
Becky, you drove 2 of your drunk friends home in your truck.
I did, yeah. My first vehicle was actually an 87 Toyota pickup, which can only seat 3 people, including the driver. And I'm from like a super small town, so like big like bonfire and like orchard parties were like a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so one weekend, like we were out at one, and my friends, they were dating at the time. They got way too drunk, and they needed a ride home, and I didn't want them inside of my truck because one of them seemed like she was definitely gonna throw up. And I also like wasn't trying to like split up the couple, so I just told both of them to get in the back and lay down as flat as they could.
Yeah.
And I had a tarp back there, so I just like threw the tarp over them and took them home.
Okay.
Dropped them off.
Perfect. Justine, you actually drove 2 of your drunk friends home in your truck.
Yeah, I was at a Halloween party in San Francisco, and at that time I owned a 1990 Chevy S10, and so it was at the end of the night, and I was the most well enough to drive. That sounds horrible. So I had 3 friends with me who had to get back home. And so I had one friend in the front, and I was like, well, you 2 can just lay in the back of the bed. And we drove on the highway to get to their house. But they made it back safely. We all made it back safely.
Yeah. All right. So perfect. Everybody at home, you've heard the 3 stories. Not all of them did it. One of them did it. So pick who actually drove 2 of their friends home drunk, that were drunk in the back of their truck. So was it Hayden? Was it Becky? Was it Justine? You guys go ahead and lock in your votes. I'm gonna read your comments really quick here. So let's see. People started saying Hillary made a guess on CVS. She said City Vitamin Store. So there we go. Hallie said convenience, value, and service. But yeah,
that's
yeah. And somebody actually backed that up and said, yeah, Google says it's convenient. Oh yeah, Google says customer value stores. Customer value stores. Oh, that's close.
Oh.
So Hallie almost had it. Laura actually brought it to us for real. Let's see. Even before anybody said anything. So Hayden, before you even started saying that you did this, Nicole was like, Hayden. So, so let's see. And then Casey said, I'm thinking it's Hayden. And then Laurie
He's
said,
a truck guy.
Hayden, yeah. And then Jess said Justine. Nicole said Hayden. Patrick said Becky. Hallie said Becky. I'm pretty sure they all could have did it. From Donna.
It was all of us.
Becky. Let's see. A vote for Becky. Becky also another vote for Becky.
Ooh.
So I'm going to say that even though Becky got a couple of votes at the very end there, that overwhelmingly they think it's Hayden. So, all right, who did it?
It was me again.
Oh, what?
It was me again. I really did do that.
on the highway.
Yeah, we went on the highway. We were coming from like the coastal part of San Francisco back into the Mission. And so I had to take the highway, and they were just back there. I have a picture of it that I took down from my Instagram because I was like, this is wrong.
Did not keep that up there. Yeah.
I shouldn't. They're still alive.
Yeah, Nicole said, wow, Jess, you got it. Yeah, not a lot of people voted for Justine. So it was either Becky. It was like Hayden, Becky, and then Justine. So
yeah.
Hayden, you pulled it off.
Got one. I feel really good about it. Like honest, yeah. Really good. Yeah.
Jess was like, yes, I got it right for the first time ever.
Yeah,
so,
Jess.
Yay.
Justine is the new wild child. LOL is what Casey says. So.
You don't know me.
All right, let's do another one. Let me get you in the guest window. There we go. Let's see. Number 5. Where are we at with time, too? I went for a walk with Don Cheadle. So one of the three of you actually went on a walk with Don Cheadle. Becky, I think you're up first this round. So you went on a walk with Don Cheadle.
Yeah, actually, one of my cousins was babysitting me when I was younger, and she was actually a PA. And so she had to go on set, and she like brought me with her and sort of hid me like behind like the food area and was just hoping that nobody was going to notice me there, which was real dumb. She probably should have lost her job. But Don Cheadle came over to like get some food, and he was like, hey, who are you? And I was like 7 at the time. I told him, I was like, hi, I'm Becky. I'm here. And I didn't tell him who I was with. And then he was like, well, you seem really bored. Come with me. And then he just took me for a walk, like around set and like on the lot, and then brought me back. And then I just sat and waited for my cousin to be done. And then we left.
That's pretty cool. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
He was nice. He had super skinny legs. Like really thin.
He's actually really skinny dude. Like he's really small. Let's see. Justine, you're up next. You had a walk with Don Cheadle.
Yeah, I did. I visited my friends in LA last year, and they live up by Echo Park. And so there's that big park, Echo Park, which is what it's called. And we were walking around, and in front of us, we figured out that was Don Cheadle. And I started making Don Cheeto jokes. I was like, oh, Don Cheetos. And so I say that I went on a walk, but we were kind of just like stalking him around Echo Park. So that was my walk with Don Cheadle.
All right, good. And then Hayden, you are up. You actually had a walk with Don Cheadle.
I did. Yeah, I lived in LA for 6 years or so. And early on, I had like this really terrible job that was like catering food, cooking, like that sort of thing. And so like the spot we were catering was, I think it was like the WB lot, but it doesn't really matter. It's one of those like lots where there's all these warehouses where they're shooting stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to get to where we were supposed to set up, and like sort of like went around a corner and saw this guy, and I just did the thing where I was like, you're like, hey, and he's like, hi, I'm like, how's it going? Good. And then I started walking, and we were both walking the same way at the same sort of speed.
Yeah.
And the thing where you like start to get like frustrated, it's like one of us needs to like slow down or speed up because this is worse. And like as he's like turned a corner, like my brain was like, this is Don Cheadle though. And I looked, and like it was, and he was like, I think I didn't expect it because he's very, as Brian said, like incredibly short and small.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I went for a walk.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he made that. That's how he smiled at me. Yes, he was
Yeah, somebody was like, who the hell is Don Cheadle? I was like, you know who Don Cheadle is. You just need to see who Don Cheadle is. All right, so one of you took a stroll with Don Cheadle. I need everybody to go ahead and vote now. And while you are voting, I will read some of your comments. So once again, I went on a walk with Don Cheadle. Was it Hayden? Was it Becky? Or was it Justine? 4-shot again. Okay. Yeah, Hallie was like, who the frick is Don Cheadle? Now you know. Now you know. Whoever walked with Don Cheadle, I am jealous. That came from Laura Carruthers. Let's see. Hallie said Becky did it. Casey said, I think Becky, but it's probably Justine. Let's see. Becky did it. Patrick said he's the Iron Patriot. Yes, yes. Frank Dixon Graham said it's not Hayden. Becky said Becky did it. Nicole said Becky did it. Oh, Nicole. Donna said Becky did it. Let's see. I don't believe Hayden's sweet face. That's what Jess says. And then Frank says Justine again because she did it. She didn't really walk with him. But wait, what? Justine again because she didn't really walk with him. Okay.
I was walking behind him.
Oh, got it. Patrick voted for Hayden. It looks to me like everyone thinks that Becky for sure walked with Don Cheadle. So who did it?
Well, this is the sweet face that you should believe because
it was Hayden. Nicely done. Right at the very last second, Laurie voted for Justine. Still not right. Hayden.
Wrong.
Yeah. That was good. All right, let's do one more. Are you guys ready to do one more?
Yeah.
All right. Let me get you back. Here are the guests. And one of you, let's see. A kidnapper broke into my house once. I think we're going with Justine. I think you're going first on this. So, Justine, a kidnapper broke into my house once.
Yeah, this is true. This is probably back in 2007. And we were sleeping and I heard a noise and I thought it was just like our neighbors because they were moving. So I didn't think of it at first, but then I heard the noise a little louder. And so I checked and I just see flashlights going around. And so I tell my mom, and so we end up calling the cops, and my mom starts yelling at the dudes to get out, in which they eventually got out. It was really scary, but the cops eventually came. And yeah.
Wow. All right. So out of the three of you, for sure, a kidnapper broke in to one of your houses. So let's see. Hayden, you're up next. a kidnapper broke into your house?
Yeah. So this was back when it was a while ago. So I don't remember exactly how old I was, but probably 10, 12, something like that. And our house that I grew up in had like a laundry room on the side with like a side door. So you could like go up the driveway, like past sort of the house and go around and go in through the side door. But it was almost always locked. And I remember there was one instance where I was staying home alone. And I think the TV room is like right by the laundry room. So I was like sort of sitting in there, and as I'm walking by to get a snack, I hear like the laundry door like sort of creak open a little bit. Like there's a hand sort of like opening it. And I was just like, no. It's like a thing to say. It was, no. And then like whoever was like opening it just like closed the door and ran away. I mean, I don't know that they were a kidnapper, but you have to assume with a sweet face.
All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Hold on. I just want to see. There was something. Oh, okay. Forget it. All right. Becky, you have the greatest poker face because you never show any emotion ever during this game. So nobody ever knows what side of things you're on. So you actually had a kidnapper come to your house once, though.
Yeah, I did. So my parents were foster parents while I was growing up. So we always had anywhere from, 2 to 5 foster kids at our house at any given time. And it wasn't unusual for the biological parents of a child to stop by and try to visit their child, which legally is not okay. But there were occasions that my mom would bend the rules. And one time a mom came to see her daughter. My mom let them see each other for like 5 minutes on the front porch. And 2 weeks later, a man broke into our house and tried to kidnap her daughter. Our neighbors across the street saw him break in and they called 911. The police showed up before we knew that anything was happening. And they were able to chase him. They chased him like into 3 yards over. They eventually were not able to catch him. He surrendered himself at a shopping center about an hour and a half later. But he turned out to be the brother of the mom that came to visit her daughter, and he was trying to kidnap her and I guess give her back to his sister.
Holy
Wild
crap.
time. Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the 3 of them actually experienced this. You at home have to vote right now. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. A kidnapper broke into my house once. Was it Hayden? Was it Becky? Or was it Justine? So go ahead and give us your votes. This is the last one tonight, so make sure you all vote now. Let's see. Let's see, I had Justine go first that round. You were talking about your neighbors. Kevin said, liar. Neighbors never move. So
They do all the time, Kevin.
my favorite comment was wait, where is it? It's so good. I think I'm not gonna be able to find it. It was something like, y'all live terrifying lives. So here we go. Laurie said Becky. Patrick says Becky. Donna says Becky. Okay, it has to be Becky. Let's see. I think it's Becky. Becky. Red is your color, Brian. You're off subject here. Stay on pattern. Laura says Becky. Give Becky at least 1. It's finally Becky. Let's see. Hallie says, Brian, you retired 4 hours ago. It's true. Becky says Becky. All right. Someone had a kidnapper come to their house. Who was it?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, there you go.
It was wild. It was so crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. That is so nuts.
It's nuts.
What's really...
And I was asleep the whole time. All I remember was when I woke up, because my bedroom was upstairs, and I remember waking up because like everything was super loud. And I went to go downstairs because I assumed that's where my parents were. And there were 2 policemen in my house walking upstairs with a German Shepherd. And, I was like the same height as this German Shepherd, and I was terrified of dogs as a kid. So I was truly like, what is going on?
That's crazy.
It was wild.
We had cops come to our door one night. It was super late at night. And I opened up the door, hella cops. And they were like, we need to come in. We had a call that someone is under duress here at this house. And I let them in the door. I was like, oh yeah, come in. There's nothing like that here. And then they just fanned out and went through my whole house and started looking in all the bedrooms. And when they got to my son's room, I was like, that's it, everyone out. And then they thought I had done something wrong. So,
oh no.
Yeah, so then they were giving me a bunch of shit. And but of course we weren't doing anything. It was like a previous person had called and had lived in the house, had called somebody and said they needed help, and they thought that they still lived there, and blah 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 blah. That was terrible.
Oh God.
It was frightening. And the thing is nobody had a warrant. Nobody had they just came right in the door and went straight to looking at bedrooms. I was like, that's some shit, man. That's some shit.
That's crazy.
There are a ton of really great cops out there. I feel like those weren't the best cops that night. So, anyway.
They were the newbies.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I'm coming in.
Handle the distressed callers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. People are very excited because, finally Becky is what they're saying. And Jess is like, yeah, I got 2 tonight. And Donna's like, finally, and rounds of applause. And Jess is like, you guys are such good liars.
Yes.
Okay, first things first. I want to say thank you, Hayden, Becky, and Justine, for being on the show tonight. You're always, all 3 of you, good job. I really appreciate it. Hayden, I'll have you on more stuff. I really miss seeing your face.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to be able to hang out and everything. I also want to thank everybody for sticking around watching the show, especially those of you that watched the Comedy Spot News and then took a break and came back. We really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with Comedy Spot Squares and ACL Town Hall meeting, so come on back for that. And don't forget, you can go up to the corner, way up there where Hayden's at. You can go to that link. You can check out information about all of our live streams, see past episodes, and also donate money if you want to. That's it for us tonight. I hope everyone has a good evening. Thank you, guests. Thank you, people at home. We'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.